The next topic we'll be covering here is seed, seed quality, seed sourcing. Um, Seed is a topic not covered by a lot of people, but still very, very important. Um, and so I'll just lay out here a few of the basic parameters that we're looking for and why we're looking for them. People have perhaps heard of the term epigenetics. Epigenetics refers to the environmental conditions that affect genetic manifestation. So I'll take an example of a pigweed, which is a common weed. Sometimes in the end of June or beginning of July, you'll see a big, beautiful, 6-foot tall, just a beautiful specimen of a pigweed that'll have maybe 500,000 seeds on it. And sometimes in September or October, you'll see very small pigweeds, say 6 inches tall, with seeds on them. They've gone to seed, but at a much different size. And a lot of gardeners and farmers have seen this. I would suggest that this is an example of what we call epigenetics, or environmental conditions. When a plant germinates in sort of optimal environmental conditions in the end of May, middle of May, warmth, sunlight, water, nutrition, that plant reads its environment and determines how big and vital it can be, and makes its growth, sets its trajectory for growth very early on in its lifespan. And if a plant, say a pigweed, germinates in the end of August, when the daylight is getting less, the nights are getting cold, the end of the season is coming, it knows it must reproduce quickly before it is frosted and killed. And so it'll choose to do that on a much smaller body. That's called epigenetics, or environment. And this is an example of how environmental conditions affect genetic manifestation. When it comes to our seeds, there's a really interesting correlation between the vigor and vitality of the seed and the environmental conditions that its mother plant was living in. And so if that makes sense, you can intuit that seeds that are grown in less than optimal environmental conditions, nutritional conditions, etc., are going to have less than optimal vitality seeds. And in fact, most of the seeds that are generally available in the market are far from the optimal plants. We don't usually have really healthy, vigorous plants to begin with. Most people, they have plants they get a harvest from, but they don't have sort of excellent specimens, and it's only those excellent specimens that are going to be producing the highest quality seed in the next generation. So I would suggest that systemically, for us to get our seed quality up to where we'd like it to be, so that we can actually begin to realize a lot of the benefits of the other environmental conditions we're discussing here, it'll take at least 2 or 3 generations of good nutritional environment to create that really high quality seed. I can't at this point recommend any seed companies that have a across the board higher quality seed. There are some out there that are doing good work, but what all growers can do is look for the size and weight of seeds. The larger and heavier seeds of any given cultivar are going to be the more vigorous and more vital. Oftentimes, if you get a package of tomato seeds, you'll find that some seeds are fat and some seeds are flat. It's those fat seeds that'll germinate with greater vigor, that'll build healthier plants over the long term. So I generally tell people that if you've got a bunch of tomatoes and you plant them in 5 to 7 days, you get a bunch of them that germinate, and then about a week later a bunch more germinate. Those ones that germinated a week later are going to be the runts that will never, that don't have the vigor, don't have the vitality. They were small seeds, and you should really cull those plants out at that point if you haven't already sorted out the seed ahead of time. You can call up seed companies and ask them about the test weight, or seeds per pound. Generally they know, they have in their database the number of seeds per pound of this variety. So this variety of arugula had 250,000 seeds per pound. If I can find that variety of arugula at 200,000 seeds per pound, I would much prefer the 200,000 seeds per pound source, because those are larger seeds, they're heavier seeds, there's fewer per pound, and there's going to be greater vigor and vitality in those seeds. So That's a general introduction to the seed topic.